All right, welcome back to the IEM Sao Paulo America Qualifiers. And before we do introductions, small shout-outs to the folks like Cold Scars, Phlogiston of RS, Blizzy Rihio, and others in chat. Glad to see you guys joining us this evening to support the American Qualifiers. I'm Rifkin, joined tonight by Zombie Grub, and in this best of three, game number 2, spawning in the lower right corner of the map, down 1 in this series, it is from the Seed Academy of Root Gaming, Astrea.
On the upper left, winning that last game with a very powerful 3 racks. It's going to be the Red Terran, Dignitas SelecT.
Yeah, SelecT is a pretty good player. That push Zombie Grub, I mean, that was really vicious. And we talked between games, and I don't need to beat a dead horse, but there's a lot of things Astrea definitely could have done different to handle that game. Unfortunately for Astrea, SelecT recognized weakness and capitalized upon it. That's one thing he will have to keep an eye on here for game number 2.
Yeah. Actually, I was wondering if Astrea even scouted the 3. Like, he might have scouted the 3 racks, but it's coming to 3 racks, no to factory. I wonder if he scouted, the add-ons and how many Marauders popping out, because it seemed like he was surprised by it. I mean, maybe he wasn't surprised and he just, had some miscontrol, but it seemed like he was surprised by it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to agree with that statement. One other thing, too, I think, man, you were commenting on the Medivacs, too, coming out late, and I was, like, kind of agreeing, like, oh, this could be dicey if he doesn't have Medivacs, but... stars aligned and all that good stuff. Astrea looks like he's going to be going for that much quicker expand this time, though. Yeah,
only getting that 1 gas, so you do delay, I believe, the Stalker or actually the Mothership Core, just a little bit. But you get the faster economy, so it doesn't really matter. Reaper's coming out again, though.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a pain to deal with. He may have to focus on getting that Mothership Core out first and then going for the Nexus afterwards, of course, because dealing with that Reaper is no fun if you've got nothing that can shoot it.
Oh, you got a gas immediately afterwards, though, so this should time out, so it works out pretty well. Like, maybe you'll delay, actually a Warp Gate for a little while, but you also open Oracle off of this, and that might be his decision again to do so, because it didn't really do a lot of damage last time, but maybe thinking that it's still possible, because it wasn't like it was completely shut down.
Right, yeah. SCV floating around the base, too, just gonna keep an eye on what's going on. It's not a Zealot coming out for... Oh, it is actually a Zealot coming out first. Sometimes you see the cancel on that, but I guess gonna chrono out, send it across the map. We'll do a great job of soaking any hits from that Reaper for now. Of course, the Reaper is definitely going to be one of carrying the Zealot instead of probes. Yeah.
And he's immediately getting that Mothership Core, too. And the Nexus will not be going down soon. The Zealots, that's only got it because Dungeon Raid did go down last time. But the Reaper will come in here. Mothership Core is going to pop out at the exact correct moment, however.
Yeah, not going to get quite that same 6th round as game number 1. SelecT definitely not going to let that happen again. But with the Zealot moseying on across the map, the Mothership Core and the Stalker may follow suit. The danger in this lies, of course, that the Reaper can come back in, but typically you'll be producing Stalkers continuously behind this anyways, or at least a second one.
Yeah.
Was expecting to see that quicker expand, but worth noting here, Astrea kind of foregoing it in favor of getting the second Stalker, getting that extra sentry.
Yeah. Well, he got that second gas, much faster than I thought he would, so he's definitely looking to pile on some pressure, do something definitely different than that expand, and considering that the Nexus wasn't really being scouted, or the would-be Nexus that wouldn't be scouted, then SelecT once again still doesn't know exactly what's going on. The Reaper's still alive, though, so he can definitely send it back in there.
He could walk right past his bunker, and that would be really scary, because these are 2 Stalkers.
Yeah,
and
where
a
are the
Zealot.
Marines?
They're now being produced. He stopped production in order to get the reactor up. So, I mean, he's going to have better production now because of it, but as we see, Stalkers walk right on by, and Astrea... It's just going to get right on top of this. Oh, if he gets that tech lab, that would be sick. So instead, SelecT going to pull everything, realizing how actually important this is to hold.
Huh.
Well, SCV's going to pull a lot of damage. It is. The Mothership Core has almost nothing to shoot up against. The 3 Marines can take it on. Stalkers, they just need to get 1 or 2 hits off. They do go down, but the SCVs have taken some hits. Down to 7, or up to 7 workers killed. Mothership Core going to move on over here to the natural SCV. Will retreat, but... That's a little bit more rough than I think SelecT was expecting. Once those shields regenerate, he can actually go back and fight those Marines. They have almost no health.
I don't know if he wants to try that again, though. Last time it did not work out, and he was missing a cannon at the most needed time, so he will be sending that back. Behind us, he got a Nexus, too. So it was a little bit more delayed, but he had that, and that attack really worked out, so it made up for the fact the Nexus was delayed. Also getting a Twilight Cancel and a Forge behind it, so not an Oracle Opener this time. Probably going back into that +1 armor with those Zealots. Yep.
God, I love the way probes look with stronger team colors, by the way. I just can't get over it. I love this addition to Game Hearts so much. And the fact that they're constantly trying to improve the game, I think, does mean a lot. There's not a lot of people out there putting this much effort in, but worth noting, Astrea desperately trying to get this mothership core home without dying, has floated around the map, and SelecT trying to predict the pathing of it with these Marines. bit of a witch hunt, I guess.
It's funny because eventually Astrea's going to have enough for recall and a photon overcharge.
Yeah, so worst case scenario, he still gets this out alive, but of course, would love to keep the energy for 2 reach or overcharges if possible. But looks like actually sliding around the side of the map, he should be okay like this. Most awkward mothership core, though, for real.
Socially awkward mothership core goes around the map.
It was a penguin when you need it, right? But look at Gas is taking it the natural for Astrea. He's definitely looking to start leaping forward with his tech. Charges on the way, +1's on the way. We don't see the we don't see the High Templars coming out anytime soon. Would love to see him put on that not Twilight Council, Templar Archives. There we go. Because I know Protoss. There we go. Now it's coming
down. What do you call the robotics bay? The robotics.
It's the robotics facility, but like I always call it the Robo Bay.
Like they call it the robotics den or the Colossus den. That's what it's called. So it's like the High Templar den for you.
The hurricane generator, whatever we want to call it. Sure, we're just gonna like put analogies up that have no relation to it. Now it's actually kind of interesting. I want to point out, Astrea does have 3 sentries, which is quite frankly not common. At least as far as defense goes. This will be great for force fielding off and allowing an overcharge to keep the base safe, but these are going to become less and less effective as the game goes on. Guardian Shield is nice, of course. It's never bad to have versus Terran, but again, 3 sentries this early is just odd to see. That's a lot of gas you would have loved to put into Templar or Tech.
It was a very atypical opener for Astrea, honestly. So something that SelecT probably hadn't seen. And obviously when he goes in here and sees 3 sentries, he's going to be maybe a little surprised. And it might do a lot of damage. I mean, 3 sentries is not a lot to attack with. Yeah, they can force field off, and I think...
Yeah. That's what I'm worried
about. If they do, it's going to be right outside the range, so it'll work.
You can medevac over top of them, too. Like, you
can medevac onto the high ground.
Yeah, and if SelecT gets caught even behind the force fields, it's not easy to... It's easy to just pick up and go, but... Astrea looking to be just fine. The storm is nearing completion. If SelecT waits, it will be done for a fight, but of course, feedbacks on those medevacs might be a little more important here in the early game.
I feel like Astrea is being so greedy. He also has a third lined up already, and it's just off so little units. It's high tech, yeah, but Terrans can get really good at splitting and stuff like that. And this is hitting right before storm, but I think he doesn't know that, so he's not going to try and engage.
This is that problem, though. This is the Star Station problem. SelecT's going to be able to lift up to the main, and there's actually nothing warped in just yet.
Not get trapped back there. Okay, good.
All right, Templar here does have storm now. Actually goes for feedbacks instead. Medevacs do evacuate in full. This ledge, by the way, folks. Nobody likes this ledge. Terrence, Zerg, this is a terrible thing to deal with.
SelecT will definitely have to keep pressuring, though. He probably figures that storm is around being finished / done already, but most Terrans, especially Korean Terrans, they don't try and go up to Ghosts immediately. They're going to go and stay on MMM for quite a while and just, bank on storms and a bigger army overall to actually win the game.
Yeah, and it's weird too, because I'm thinking back to that mech game you and I cast, HTO Mario vs. Venus, where it's weird that Hellbats can be so good, but never utilized in this matchup.
Yeah, I've been actually experimenting putting them into PvT when they go for Charge Out, because Charge Out is the thing that people are going for now. Charge Out Archon more than Colossus. Yeah, with armor, and they're very effective. They not only deal some nice damage, but they're also very good at tanking. Yeah.
If there's one thing fully upgraded Zealots don't care about, especially with a Guardian Shield above them, it is Marine Fire.
Ooh, if SelecT gets surprised by here, okay, good. Yeah.
There's not a lot of anti-air though, right? Like these medevacs might be low, but there's not enough for feedback to finish them. Meanwhile, Astrea's been distracted up here. 2 medevacs coming to the south. No cannons, no defense. 1 Templar.
Zealots,
with
the storm and another cannon. That's gonna be enough. He shouldn't even continue trying. I feel. Just pick up and go home.
I like the choice of putting cannons down though. Unfortunately, he does reveal this SelecT, so he won't quite get away with this. Like, typically you'd love to catch a medevac not paying attention with a cannon, but coming towards the main, Astrea, I gotta give it to Astrea. And everyone's like, Griffkin's having a player crusher, but he's positioning quite nicely this game. Templar have been everywhere SelecT would want to come into the base. He has been ready for him.
Yeah. You notice also Astrea's up in supply, so SelecT is not playing the game that he wants whatsoever. And these units getting just a little bit trapped. They do get out, but yeah, you want to be, at least even / maybe a little bit above when you're facing this. And now, I mean, his kiting can still be great. So there's no force fields. You can kite Zealots all day, right? And you can definitely get a chunk off a chunk of 20 supply easily, but it's still a little bit worrying.
Yeah. Now, the Marauders and Marines here are actually really not that scary when in a big clump. Again, there's a lot of storms available, and the nice thing about Charge is, well, storms typically don't kill bio because Terran players are good enough at stimming and moving out of it. They're going to be so darn low that one charge lot, one hit, will usually end up finishing the job. Some Guardian Shields and Force Fields will be necessary here. Good Force Fields. Oh my god, that meat grinder being set up. Beautiful storm right on top of this. SelecT takes quite a hit, and Astrea gets a really nice engagement.
I feel like Astrea, this is like his game, you know, everything's going right for him, and he's being, you know, he's been able to get that third up nice and easy, and of course that earlier attack really did throw SelecT off quite a bit, and SelecT not able to do anything. Oh!
Zombie Grub with like the Artosis level jinxing, talks about how good this is going, then throws away almost full energy, because I can tongue twist Templar there. Really unfortunate to see that happen. Now, do we have a Warp Prism anywhere available? No, it looks to be just a probe setting up pylons in this half of the map. Okay. So counterattacks could be really nice. You don't even need a lot of zealots either. Like 4 zealots, 5 zealots. You can run into a mineral line and it takes forever to clean up because Marauders don't have the best damage, and of course Marines, as we talked about earlier, not the best at dealing with armored zealots.
Storm drop is incoming. Top right, Warp Prism, 2 zealots, 2 storms. So if the storms don't kill the zealots or kill the SCVs, the zealots will.
Oh, the turret is in such a bad spot. It's for detecting observers, not for just stopping a drop. Storm does go down, but unfortunately, if Astrea had unloaded the Templar first manually, the auto attack message would never have gone off, and SelecT might not have heard that that was going to be coming. So, good retention on the SCVs. It could have been handled a little bit better by Astrea. Over here on the right side of the map, though, of course, constantly darting in with a zealot to check that watchtower. Sees that there's a rather large force here and should not engage without a Templar. Good storm will chase this back, but unfortunately ends up eating most of it with his own zealots.
He's already transitioning into Colossus, but SelecT's already on that as well, starting to produce zealots, knowing that's a definite possibility. Usually around 15 minutes, they're going to have both just a little bit later in this game.
Wait.
And you just pick up those units.
Wait, you mean SelecT's making Vikings, or...?
SelecT's making Vikings? What did I say?
You said zealots, so I was confused.
Oh, sorry. No, Vikings. He's making Vikings.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry, not trying to call you out. I was just like, wait, what? But I like the addition of the Ghost here too. What's so great about Ghosts is whether it's actually EMPs on something like an Archon or Templar, regardless, you know, Colossus, Stalkers, Zealots, when you hit them with an EMP, that's like an instant like 80 damage, 50 damage, depending on their shields, as it does drain them down outright. One of the big things though, of course, Ghosts with Cloak, guys. One of the hardest things, like, there is no race that struggles with detection nearly as much as Protoss does. There's a player, you may have heard of him, Empire Happy. One of the things he is really well known for is his Viking Ghost composition for the endgame TVP. And it is very difficult to dance with that.
We're going to see how SelecT's going to be able to do. Unfortunately, really as a Terran player, you want a good mid-game, and you
get some
get
storms.
That, but, ooh,
Beautiful
the storms
storms
coming up from War Prism.
And the Colossus from behind too, going to start cleaning this up. Ghost doing what they can. EMP's blanketing most of this army. He's still got a couple storms left, but are they going to be on the front lines? Coming up behind, so slowly are these Templar. It looks like he's going to have enough of those Zombie Girl pushing in this force. I don't know if he can win the game with this, but he's definitely getting the damage that he wanted. Another EMP goes down. In fact, the last EMP goes down. There's still 3 storms ready. Beautiful splits coming out of SelecT, but still eating so much storm damage. One more storm could do a lot. This army is incredibly low.
Yeah, and Astrea is going to be on 4 base very soon, so he might not be able to end the game here, but he can just remax while SelecT's going to have a very difficult time doing that. And it looks like Astrea's not even going to be giving up right now. Still
Zombie
dodging
grub.
The storms pretty well.
We've got a classic Protoss mistake going on right now. Second
No
Colossus, no Thermal Lance.
Oh, God.
That makes this incredibly difficult to engage into bio like this. For those who don't know, Thermal Lance, without it, Marauders have the same range as the Colossus. Stimming into them, not a problem. And as we see between the Vikings and the Marauders, this Colossus has been low, but it's not gone down yet. It should really die, though. Now turning around to focus, a couple more storms locked and loaded, but here comes that second Colossus. There's an Archon in this army, too. This is nothing easy for SelecT to deal with. Oh, third Colossus, still no Thermal Lance. Astrea.
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you doing? This Colossus number 4 being produced while we talk.
It shouldn't matter. The con game is really, really great for SelecT, so Astrea has to be very, very careful, especially not to be EMP'd. Oh my god, all the EMPs hit everything on Army, but not
but the storms! There's no Medivacs left, Zombie Grub! All of this bio is not going to get healed, and a couple of Archons with these storms will completely clean this up. SelecT realizes perhaps a little too late, cranking out 3 Medivacs right now, but because of this, no more Vikings, which means this Colossus should be safe. Oh god, the Archon's doing so much damage on top of this one beautiful storm. Charge lots will come clean so much of this up. But Astrea, of course, doesn't want to fight in that choke if he can avoid it. Zealots is going to town.
Damage with Zealots in the third.
Yeah. 16 workers killed and rising. I don't think SelecT can hold this base. If Astrea really wanted to, he can focus fire every one of these down. Looks like that is what he's doing, so he doesn't get distracted by the bunker.
Yeah, very nicely done. SelecT still trying to hold on, but currently he's down by 60 supply. Again, not a good game for SelecT. That mid game that you really won as a Terran never happened for him. He was forced in a very uncomfortable position, and honestly, if he had waited maybe a minute or two longer, Astrea that is, maybe SelecT has a maxed army and he holds on.
We got the SCV pull. There's 2 Colossus here. A lot of Archons still standing. There's too many charge lots. Good game is called, and Astrea will take game number 2, evening this up 1-1.